5 weeks, 6 races to see out the 2026 season. 1/3 of the calendar in one hit, and it all starts here. In the midst of a driver market shuffle, the likes of which the sport hasn't seen in years. Almost every team could field a new lineup in 2027. And so every race and every lap is critical. For some, these may be the last laps they run in their IndyCar careers. For some, it may yet bring their first win.
It's definitely the goal right now.
For others, their first title. For one, his 5th. The intensity is real. The importance is deep. The time is now.
Time to buck up.
5 weeks to make or break their careers.
Let's go from Portland!
And it all starts here. Portland.
Well, hello folks, and happy race day. The first time we'll be saying that for 6 times in the next 5 weeks as we roll to crown a 2026 NTT IndyCar Series champion. Welcome to the NTT IndyCar Series Grand Prix of Portland, live on Fox. I'm Will Buxton, he's Townsend Bell, and he's James Hinchcliffe. We're in Portland, and we can't wait to get racing. Guys, I love this track. I love the fact that the intensity is as deep set as it is as we roll to crown a champion.
Yeah, it's a difficult track, and it's already been catching drivers out this weekend, all throughout practice and qualifying. This turn 1 is always the issue. Palou Award, one of the first to find it, damaging suspension, damaging tires, and spinning yourself out, but he wasn't the only one. Rinus VeeKay having a great weekend so far. He's starting up on the 3rd row, but he found the wall. But it's not just younger drivers or inexperienced ones. How about the most experienced IndyCar driver in history, Scott Dixon, the 6-time champion, also finding that wall. It's going to be an issue all day.
And those are clips of one car by themselves. How about at the start of this thing? It is Calamity Corner down in turn 1. You can bowling ball out half the field if you get it wrong. There's signboards to blast through. This place presents challenges at every turn.
It does indeed. We have a front row that features the 2 most recent Indianapolis 500 winners. Felix Rosenqvist starts from the pole. Alex Palou starts alongside him. He is our championship leader, and we have 3 drivers in the field who have a realistic shot of taking the title away from him. David Malukas, 2nd in championship points. Carl Kirkwood, 3rd. Christian Lundgaard, 4th. He's won the most races on road courses this year, but he starts from last on the grid as we go trackside for the command.
Here to give the command for the OnlyBulls Grand Prix of Portland is OnlyBulls Executive Chairman and Founder, Todd Alt.
Welcome to the OnlyBulls Portland Grand Prix. Drivers, start your engines!
Well, guys, no time to rest. We're going to get rolling straight away. And why don't we start by taking a look at the starting grid that's sponsored by NTT.
Christian Lundgaard, Hedensted, Denmark.
Kyle Collet, São Paulo, Brazil.
Stingray Rob, Payette, Idaho.
Mick Schumacher, Germany.
Santina Ferrucci, Woodbury, Connecticut.
Marcus Armstrong, Christchurch, New Zealand.
Christian Rasmussen, Copenhagen, Denmark.
Alexander Rossi, Nevada City, California.
Pato Award, Monterrey, Mexico.
Nolan Siegel, Palo Alto, California.
David Malukas, Chicago, Illinois.
Josef Newgarden, Nashville, Tennessee.
Scott McLaughlin, Christchurch, New Zealand.
Louis Foster, Odium, England.
Scott Dixon, Auckland, New Zealand.
Romain Grosjean, Geneva, Switzerland.
Dennis Hauger, Aurskog, Norway.
Graham Rahal, Columbus, Ohio.
Kyle Kirkwood, Jupiter, Florida.
Kevin Simpson, Cayman Islands.
Rinus VeeKay, Hoofddorp, the Netherlands.
Marcus Ericsson, Kumla, Sweden.
Will Power, Toowoomba, Australia.
Alex Palou, Barcelona, Spain.
Felix Rosenqvist, Värnamo, Sweden. I love coming to Portland for the food. Amazing restaurants there.
Well, he doesn't just love the food this weekend, he loves the track. He's been the master of it. He was the fastest in every single sequence of qualifying, topped every group, took the pole, and guy starts on that front row alongside Alex Palou.
He does indeed, and remember, like you said, Will, the last two winners of the Indy 500, the biggest race in the world, and with that comes some sense, I think, of entitlement and expectation of respect from the front of the field. James, I don't know if that's going to be on offer today.
Well, what is going to be on offer today is 110 laps around this very difficult Portland International Raceway. So let's take a look at the track preview sponsored by Honda. Like I said, 1.9 miles, 12 turns here at Portland. It starts on this drag strip, literal drag strip of a front straight into this tight chicane for turn 1 and 2. So much action, so much calamity there into the fast turn 4.
Yeah, turn 4 starts the rhythm section through turns 4 and 5. Really triple apex through there. Then one of the few left-handers on the course, turn 6, to set yourself up for a very important exit down the back straightaway.
You kind of curve and weave your way through the forests, along the river, down this back straight into an incredibly quick fifth gear entry, just tap of the brake chicane, 180 miles an hour into there. We've seen moves pulled off there, Townsend. It is tough to do. Then you got to get it woed up for this final corner. And again, that exit so important to get you down the front straight.
Townsend, you said it, you've got to find your rhythm, find your groove. 110 laps, that's 216 miles in total of this fairly short road circuit, which comes at you thick and fast. And with the news thick and fast coming off pit lane, down to Georgia Hennebury.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here in Rinus VK's pit box. We've talked about him a little bit already today, but what a stellar weekend for them already. He's going to roll off fifth, which is their best qualifying of the year so far. They tested here just a little over a week and a half ago, and he feels like that has catapulted them into the momentum that they've needed going into this weekend. He feels strong, and we have to remember the last time we were on a road course, he finished 4th. Rinus is looking for the first win for the Juncos Hollinger Racing organization. Jack?
Thanks, G. Driver that I'm going to focus on right now, Kyle Kirkwood. Historically, this has not been the best track for him or the team. This weekend, they brought an entirely different setup philosophy, and it has absolutely worked. All 3 of their cars started in the top 7. Great championship day potentially for Kyle Kirkwood and this Andretti team. Kevin.
Jack, no one has been better on road courses this year than Arrow McLaren's Christian Lundgaard, but he had a pair of technical issues in qualifying and is starting last. Now, remember at Road America, he had contact and a puncture on the first lap, was effectively last, came back and won with an alternate strategy, but expect them to still try to stay on the primary strategy here today. The idea is pace, trying to work your way through the field. We've had a first lap caution in 6 of the last 7 races here, or at least within the first 3 laps. But I think the 7 team is going to stay out and try to use pace to work their way through and get a result today.
A difficult day yesterday for Christian Lundgaard. He has 2 wins, 2 second places on road courses this year. Another driver who's been brilliant on road courses, Graham Rahal. He has 3 podiums to his name on road courses this season. He starts in 8th after a brilliant qualifying performance. And what about the qualifying run for the Dale Coyne Racing team? Romain Grosjean and Dennis Hauger start 10th and 9th.
Good look at Graham Rahal there, working hard to get his right front tire up to temperature. Most of the turns at Portland, right-handers, so the right front tire doesn't get much of a workout. The MyJack driver is queued up and ready to go.
And then, of course, you got Will Power there inside of row 3. He's your back-to-back and defending race winner here at Portland. Has yet to win for the new squad Andretti Global this year in the first 12 races. Would love to get that first one here today.
110 laps stand in front of us as they roll 2 by 2. The front row of Rosenqvist and Palou. We turn right onto the drag strip. 6 races in 5 weeks coming your way live on Fox. And Rosenqvist takes us to green. Palou tucked up behind him and goes to look around the outside. Hard on the anchors down into turn 1. Ericsson's got past Power. VK looks clean, everyone looks clean. They're down through turn 1, no bowling ball, and look now at Ericsson. having a go at Palou.
Kyle Kirkwood in that dark blue Sam's Club Honda looking so aggressive, trying to make moves early. He is already up to 6th place. He almost had a huge crash with Kyffin Simpson. They were so close to coming together in turn 2.
Yeah, Simpson did a great job in qualifying. It looks like he's trying to go around the outside, Kirkwood, of Rinus VeeKay, the 27, absolutely on a mission on this first lap. Down the back straight, push to pass, not available yet.
He was tucked up underneath his rear wing, goes for the move into the left-hander. Does he have the track space? He doesn't. VeeKay cuts him off.
And you see Kirkwood's on those red soft tires. That's going to give him more grip on this first lap compared to VeeKay, who's on those black sidewall primary harder tires that Firestone brought here this weekend. So Kirkwood trying to utilize that extra grip while he can.
But look at the drivers on the soft tires and the positions they've made up. Christian Lundgaard from last has made up 6 places in 1 lap. Rasmussen's made up 4 places. Dixon up 3, Kirkwood up 1, Ericsson up 1.
Yeah, you saw that orange and blue car of Scott Dixon looking to make a move on his younger, more inexperienced teammate. The blue and yellow car of Kyffin Simpson. Scott Dixon looking to make it happen. He's done 21 seasons with a win in IndyCar. He is winless so far this year.
And he has those soft tires on, Kyffin on the hard. So like Kirkwood, Dixon's trying to really make moves early here. As we see Rahal trying to keep his teammate Louis Foster behind him, having a great weekend here for the Rahal Lunderman Lanigan squad.
Battles once again, and Kirkwood goes to take the move, and they touch with Rinus VeeKay.
It is so hard to pull it off there, guys, but now push to pass is active. So as we ride on board the Sam's Club machine of Kirkwood, you're going to see him probably hit the button. Oh, do you hear a little hesitation there, maybe?
And contact with the wall.
Contact with the wall.
Yeah, outside wall on the back straightaway. I believe that might have been the right rear for Kyle Kirkwood. We take a closer look at his car there. It looks to be okay. Rinus VeeKay, despite being on the harder tire, let's take a look here again. Oh yeah, I think the right rear might have just grazed the wall. This is the fastest part of the racetrack. Doesn't appear to be any obvious damage, but it could knock out the alignment of that right rear.
It's key in these early laps for those drivers on the soft tires to make their moves, make up the positions, to make their strategy work. That's why you see the intensity from Kirkwood trying to get past VeeKay. That's why you see that same intensity from Marcus Ericsson all over the rear wing of Alex Palou.
On the pylon there, you can see which drivers are starting on which tires. Of course, you have to run at least one of each compound at some point during the race. Most teams, after warm-up, thinking that maybe the softs were going to be harder to hang on to.
Here we go, Ericsson late on the brakes, and that's lovely for second.
I'll tell you what, Andretti Autosport is looking so competitive here. Drivers 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Easily the best road course they've had in a while.
Best combined qualifying for a team yesterday as the Delaware Life on board looks back at the championship leader. That was a great move from Ericsson. Had to really work for it on the brakes again, using those soft tires. He was the only driver in those top 2 rows to start on the soft.
Ericsson's been telling us all year, I need to be aggressive. I need to go after it this year. He's gone after it, and he has been given a new contract as a result. Meanwhile, Christian Lundgaard is up to 15th place. That's 10 positions from where he started. What a start. Lundgaard's had a fast car all weekend, had those technical issues that blighted him in commentary. But this, another look at the move from Ericsson. Very late move, very late on the brakes. Palou could do nothing to react to that.
Yeah, Palou's so smart, though. Padding, as they run right now, a 94-point championship lead. You're going to give that one up every day of the week to keep your race car clean and still settle in to a 3rd place running position.
Guys, if you want to look at the advantage of running soft tires to the flag to start this race off, 19 spots gained for those drivers on soft tires from the first 3 laps alone.
No free lunch, though, in the tire business, James. You get that grip early on, but you're going to give something back later. Track temp right now, 115. So at some point, these soft tires are going to tip over, and the black tire will have the advantage. And the drivers on the hard tires know that. You're doing your best to minimize the damage now, knowing that a soft tire runner might come right back into your clutches in about 10 laps.
Rasmussen was looking pretty racy there all over the back of Dennis Hauger. Wonderful qualifying run from the Dale Coyne Racing driver as Rosenqvist, our race leader in the Grateful Dead car. Just under a second his advantage to second place man Marcus Ericsson, who is beginning to hunt him down.
Yeah, it's coming down. That Sirius XM onboard shows you that Delaware Life car is getting closer and closer. So Ericsson doing a great job using that soft rubber and tracing down his countrymen. Both Swedes, both Indy 500 winners, both trying to lead this race.
Ericsson on that soft tire, cutting that gap down, Georgia.
He sure is, guys, and I talked to him right before he jumped into the 28 car, and he told me actually at the beginning of this weekend they were working through some pretty heavy understeer, but that got better as the weekend went on, and he feels like they've been in the window since Saturday morning. He has major confidence going into this weekend. He was calm, cool, and collected before getting in that race car. It's showing.
Confidence comes with contract extensions, which he got earlier this week, returning to the 28 machine in 2027. Oh,
Rahal. Rahal is into the barrier in the RLL. Full course yellow. Comes out immediately. And we will be back to Portland as we hit the pause button here. Huge lockup. Off to the barriers.
So next time by is green. All time now. Open up. right here. We're okay with that gap right now. Pit cycle won't start for another 10 to 12 laps.
Probably no. I would think. Final. We are 3, 2. Great. You want? Go. You're clear. All clear. Okay, all clear on track. All. No. Light, so got it. Sorry about that. Have Dixon on black, so good exit. Close with Dixon. Let's get this up. 3, 2, 1. We have Dixon at the bridge.
felt better at that pace looking up the tire, honestly. I'll just save a little bit of fuel, go a little bit further, but do your thing. We're fine. It'll help you later with fuel.
next lap. Just one more. That's
A lot of rear cut. one more maximum. Left will be clear after him. Close the gap to the 3. Next open line is by me now, stage. More lighter on fuel here, Joseph, so you can use the tires. Be about 15 laps. Closing the gap to the 3. Simpson is on red behind you. He has 35 seconds more overtake than you. We did get the one now, turn the wing out. track tires held on. No problem for everybody. We'll be going to reds for the last stint though, so you can use these up. Catching everybody. Watch this purple car leaving. Be fine. 3, 2, 1, mark. Clear out. You'll be clear out as well. You'll be clear up. Push here. Overtake. Overtake. Keep pushing. Save your overtake. One more here if you don't think the 20's holding you up. I can do one more. Copy. Hit this lap, hit this lap. You're gonna have to come around Dixon's guys. You'll come around Dixon's guys. Get one turn of front wing and go to reds here. Look for Chad. 3, 2, 1. See your marks. Go, 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 go. Go, go. You're racing everybody at pit exit here. You're racing everybody at pit exit. Line of 3 is clear. No pressure from behind. No pressure from behind.
left for
cars now, brake all the way. Doesn't seem like it's very bad. That's just getting quit pretty quick. Go here, Nick.
Yeah, good job. I didn't do the launch race in the first stop. Schumacher's crew was like super wide. I was like full lock, but good job, guys. Some really good spins, some little worse, but yeah, Palou was a little too quick. So yeah, good to be back on the podium. Thank you, guys. Good week. Good week. Up there. Time. Are you sure of it? It's landing here, let me know where I'm going. Nothing, go all the way down to the pit house. Keep driving, let me know. Going all the way down to the pit exit. All the way down, yeah.